Hey everyone, watching the replay. Trying to get set up here. Uh, Hello, Vibes with Nita. How are you? Hello. Hey Nora. I'm over here trying to get set up. Let Instagram know we are live on this Good Friday. Can you guys hear and see me pretty good? Hey everyone. Hi guys. I'm here at work hiding, listening to you all. Thank you for hiding and listening to me. Is this anyone's first time watching me live? Or are you guys like regulars? Even though this is my third time doing this, but who is here for the first time watching me live? Hey, UK. Hey, Sophia, Virginia, Michelle, Gina, Kristen, Ramona, Danny, M. Johnson, DP, Lynn. Hello. Can you guys hear me okay? Sophia, this is your second time? Cool. New to the live. Welcome, Virginia. So glad you are here. So glad you're here. First time. This is my first live. Oh, yay. First time. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so where is everyone coming from? So I see UK. I see Canada. I see Houston. Am I not clear? Gina said she hears me well. You guys can hear me? Okay. For those who can't, Michelle, if you can't hear me, maybe try to go out and come back in and see if that helps. Bahamas. Oh, wish I was there. New York, New Mexico, California, North Carolina. Okay, North Carolina. Florida, Egypt. You're in Egypt. Take me with you. I want to go to Egypt. Jamaica. Dope shirt. Thank you. I got it from Forever 21. It's like a vintage MTV shirt. Cameroon, Detroit, Houston, Cali. Awesome. Well, I'm super glad you guys are here. I'm gonna just jump straight into it. I'm sure as we continue on, more people are gonna, come on in and whatnot. But I want to do a teaching session before we go into the Q&A live. I get a lot of questions concerning scalp health and hair growth and just heat styling. So I really want to focus the teaching on here. Well, before we do the Q&A session. So I want you guys to drop a 1 in the chat if you currently have like any scalp issues or you have had scalp issues in the past. Drop a 1 in the chat because I want to know who's here, what you guys need, all that good stuff. Thank you, Iris. Renee has a 1. Pamela has a 1. Sharon has a 1. Okay, so it's a thing. It is a thing. Okay, so I want to talk about this when it comes to scalp health. So as you guys know, I say all the time on my videos that healthy hair really starts with the scalp. And a lot of times when it comes to like issues with the scalp, it can be, internal reasons, it can be external reasons. I want to say 60% of the time it's external things that we are not doing. My hair grew 3 inches and got a whole lot thicker since I started following your channel. Oh yes, that's what's up. You're welcome. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you for letting me know that. So yeah, 60% of the time, guys, it is external. And when I say external, it can be the products that we're using. It could be environmental factors, heat damage on the scalp. That is a thing. I mentioned in the previous video how free radicals can disrupt our hair growth cycle. And it can also, inflame the scalp as well. So with the scalp, a lot of you guys may be suffering from a dry scalp, an itchy scalp, all of the things. I would say that's like the most common scalp issue. So I want to give you guys some reasons as to why dry scalp occurs. Number 1, it could be biological. Hear me out. It could be that your body just does not produce a lot of sebum on the scalp. And that is just natural oil that comes from the scalp to help with moisture retention on the scalp. Now, this is biological, but the good thing is this can be fixed, and we'll talk about that in a second. I got my notes here. The second thing is Michelle says she's tender-headed. Oh, girl. So you don't get braids that often, I bet. That's okay. The second thing is a lack of washing, meaning, you know, you don't really wash your hair as often as you should. One thing I've noticed is that people who don't frequently wash their hair, like maybe go like once a month washing their hair or once every few months, they will suffer from scalp issues because of the lack of moisture on the scalp. And you guys know when you are in the shower, when it is your wash day, that is the time where your scalp experiences the most amount of waste. I said oyster, moisture. So you want to make sure that you are washing your hair frequently, not too frequent, you know, like not like every day, but like, you know, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks to really give your scalp the moisture that it needs. And then last but not least is it could be hormonal. You know, it could be based off of your thyroid, which I definitely want to get more into soon. It could be, you know, internal things going on. It can be hormonal, like I mentioned before. So it could be a number of things. Now, let's say you do have a dry, my nervousness caused scalp to itch. Interesting. That makes sense though. That makes sense. That makes sense because stress and nervousness kind of goes together and can definitely affect our health and our scalp. So that makes sense. So if you do suffer from a dry scalp, really quick, drop a 2 in the chat. Who here suffers from a dry scalp? Drop a 2 while I sip on this good water. Are y'all drinking y'all water every day? I'm trying to drink more water. It's not easy. I'm trying. Number 2, Tia says 2, Sierra says 2, Danny says 2, Ebony says 2. Okay, we got some 2s. Okay. Honestly, when I was trying to improve my hair health, I searched and I started watching because you were a baddie. Then I realized how great your content was. It really helped. Thank you so much, Barry. I appreciate it. I'm so glad this content is helping you. I think I do sometimes, but I keep it moisturized. That's good. Renee says she has a dry and itchy scalp. Okay. 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 I'm looking at my notes. Okay, cool. So if you have a dry scalp, I'm going to get into the itchiness in a second, but if you do have a dry scalp, I want you guys to start implementing like aloe vera rinses on the scalp. And you can literally take like a nozzle bottle, fill it with some aloe vera juice, and put it on the scalp. Massage it in a little bit for some penetration and put a shower cap on. Leave that on for maybe 30 minutes to an hour and then rinse it off. If you start implementing that in your wash day or even like in the middle of the week, you know, because some of you guys still do co-washes, you're going to see a huge difference on your scalp when it comes to the dryness. Number one, because aloe vera juice is made up entirely, for the most part, of water, which is the number one source of moisture. Number two, aloe vera juice is naturally a humectant. So you're going to get some extra moisture binding capacity into the scalp. And then number three, aloe vera juice is acidic. And our scalp naturally is acidic, but you know, different products and different things, lack of washing, can increase the pH of the scalp, which is not good, which can lead to bacterial growth and fungal growth, which we'll talk about in a second. So aloe vera juice altogether is amazing for the scalp. So I do recommend you guys try that. Do you add water to the aloe vera juice? No. Just take it. I mean, you can do it straight. Aloe vera juice, just directly 100% on the scalp is what I would recommend. Okay. South Africa, love your channel. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Okay, so that's number one, aloe vera juice rinses. Number two, I mentioned before how that shower, that's the time your scalp is getting the most amount of moisture. Take advantage of that by when you are done, when you're done with your wash day, when you get out the shower, get you some oil or some hair grease, okay? For those who don't mind hair grease, y'all know I love me some hair grease. But, you know, and just apply that on your scalp so that you can really reap the benefits of all that moisture that is within your scalp. Because if you don't, what does water like to do? It likes to evaporate. It likes to be here 1 second and go the next. So what you want to do is trap that moisture in your scalp by, putting some oil on the scalp or hair grease. Of course, hair grease is going to be more occlusive, meaning it's going to be much more heavier to lock in more moisture. But some people don't want to put hair grease on their scalp. Completely understandable. By the way, hair grease does not clog the pores of the scalp, just so you guys know. But if you don't want to do hair grease, there is jojoba oil. There is grapeseed. There's hemp seed. You guys have quite a few options. Can I add aloe vera in my leave-in? I have low porosity hair. I've been using your tips. Yeah, you can definitely add aloe vera to your leave-in. I would recommend doing a separate little thing of it. I wouldn't put it into the bottle though. Does the aloe vera juice have to be fresh, or can you use the bottle kind? That's a great question, Brenda. It can be either or. If you're going to do the bottle kind, there's a brand I love. It's called Lily of the Desert. Lily of the Desert aloe vera juice. You can find it at Whole Foods. You can find it on Amazon. I would I would recommend getting the one that says what is the one? Oh, I forgot which one it was. There's one that has, don't get the one that says preservative free. Don't get that one. It stinks. It smells really bad. Get the one with the preservative. It's completely fine, but that's the one I would recommend. Do you wash it out or add conditioner? For the aloe vera scalp treatment, you would rinse that out. Honestly, you really don't have to. You can actually keep that in and put your shampoo on top of it because you really don't have to, but I would just say, try to see which one works for you, but either or is completely fine. Okay, I'm gonna do a whole Q&A session after this. Okay, next. Apple cider vinegar rinses are going to be essential, really more so for the itchy part. So we'll leave that for that, but definitely for moisturization, definitely incorporate those aloe vera rinse. You can also look into hydrating waters. I did a whole video on it about 2 weeks ago. I was talking about coconut water, hibiscus water, and a few lavender water are also great options as well for your scalp. Now, if you have a itchy scalp, drop a 3 in the chat while I get some water. If you have an itchy scalp, Diane has a 3, Sophia has a 3, Pamela has a 3, Lily has a 3, Gina has a 3. Okay, we got some 3s. 3 when it needs washing. Whenever you sweat, okay. Okay, cool. So we have some 3s. So number 1, itchy scalp. It could be a lack of washing, as Anne Marie just said, because think about it. When we have excessive product buildup on the scalp, especially for a prolonged period of time, it kind of cakes up on the layer of the scalp, the external layer of the scalp, which can then, of course, lead to increase of pH, which can then lead to increase of bacteria, yeast that could, cause dandruff and things of that nature. So that's number 1. Number 2, it could be dryness. Your scalp is really, really dry to the point that it's irritating your scalp and you're itching. Or it could be kind of going back to what I said before about the products, raising the pH of your scalp. And it can also be, hormonal things as well that can also raise the pH of your scalp. So what do you want to do? This is where you want to incorporate things like apple cider vinegar rinses. Okay. In my opinion, clarifying shampoos are great. They're awesome, but sometimes they can be a little bit drying, because they have some pretty heavy surfactants, which are designed to remove dirt and oil, which is great, fine and dandy, but it can be drying on the scalp. So in that case, that's when I recommend apple cider vinegar rinses. Of course, you want to dilute this. You don't want to use this straight on your hair. I have a recipe in the Natural Hair Care Wisdom flashcards. You guys can find that at curlychemistry.com. But something like this is going to give you moisturization. It's going to remove that dirt, bacteria, product buildup, can't even say the word gently, you know what I mean? Much more gentle than the clarifying shampoo. And it's just a great natural clarifying liquid. So something like that, I would highly recommend. Of course, apple cider vinegar is acidic, which is ideal for the environment of our scalp. So you're going to get some great benefits by doing that if you have an itchy scalp. And you can also use this too as if you have a dry scalp. Let's see. How can I use black cumin seed oil on my low porosity hair? Black cumin seed oil. That oil is full of nutrients. It's such an amazing oil. You can use it on your scalp for sure. I've even heard people say that it helps with hair growth. I haven't used it before for hair growth, but there are some claims about it being good for hair growth. And you can also use it on your hair to seal in moisture as well and make the hair more manageable. Mm, Joining from West Africa, I'm late. Girl, you fine. But can you do a video on how to make an oatmeal rinse for me to see how you do it? I can. I can do that. I actually have a because I did a video 2 weeks ago on hydrating waters, and I mentioned oat milk. And at the bottom of that video in the description box, I do have a recipe, so you can check that out in the meantime. Okay, let's see. Does coconut vinegar work too, like apple cider vinegar? That's a great question. I've never used coconut vinegar before. Um, my only concern is how much of the fatty acid content of coconut is within that vinegar, if that makes sense. And there may not be any. And the reason why I say that is because lauric acid, which is the main component of coconut oil, is comedogenic, meaning it can clog the pores of the scalp. So that would be like my only concern about coconut vinegar. Once again, I've never used it, but it sounds interesting. It does. Okay, and before I go into the next topic, the other thing I would recommend for itchy scalp are hydrosols. And I actually have one with me. So before I show you guys what I have, hydrosols are, so think about like rosemary, peppermint, tea tree, these are herbs and plants. Hydrosols are like steam distillates. So they actually collect the steam from the tea tree, and like that water, that liquid is being collected, and they classify that as a hydrosol. What makes it so amazing? Number one, it's pretty much like rosemary water or tea tree water, but it's more potent because of the way that they are extracting the steam from the leaf itself. So something like this, rosemary hydrosol. And I got this from mountainroseherbs.com. This would be great for the scalp because rosemary is known for thickening the hair. It's known for promoting hair growth, circulation, and it's water, so it's going to give you some extra moisturization as well. So I would look into hydrosols if you guys want to see it again. So there's like lavender hydrosol, there's tea tree hydrosol, there's rosemary hydrosol, and I think I paid $10 for this bottle. It's 3 ounces, and this stuff is potent. Like this stuff smells like rosemary to the max, but it's so gentle. Like it's not like rosemary essential oil, which is very potent in its oil form. So something like that, I wouldn't just put that on my scalp because it's so strong without diluting it in the carrier oil. But with the hydrosol, you can put it directly on your scalp and your hair too. And it's a toner for yours, so you can do it for multi purposes as well. Okay. I love your channel. Can you do more videos on high porosity hair and what products to use from shampoo to styling? Yes, I actually have a video called Holy Grail High Porosity Products, where I talk about from shampoo to styling, all the products I recommend for high porosity hair. So definitely check that video out. And I do have one for low porosity as well. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, Sophia, I like your question. Tanya, what is a surfactant? Can you explain it in layman terms? Yes. So surfactants, they get their name because they are surface acting agents, meaning they only really work on the surface of the hair or the skin if you're, body wash or something like that. So there's two types of surfactants. You have cleansing surfactants and you have conditioning surfactants. Cleansing surfactants, once again, surface acting agents. They only work on the surface of the hair. They don't really penetrate. They only work on the surface. So for a cleansing surfactant, for a cleansing surfactant, which you will find more so in shampoos like sodium lauryl sulfate, cocamidopropylbutane, things like that, decoglucoside, cocoa glucoside, all of those are cleansing surfactants that literally, once they come into contact with the cuticle of the hair, they are going to remove oil and dirt. So it almost like it magnetizes to the oil and the dirt. And as you are rinsing your hair, it rinses off of your hair. So it works on the surface of the hair to remove dirt and oil. On the flip side, you have conditioning surfactants. So things like bihydramonium methyl sulfate, stearometopropyl dimethylamine, centramonium chloride. There's so many, conditioning surfactants. They do, same thing as the cleansing. They are on the surface of the cuticle, but they're not cleansing. They're not removing oil and dirt. Instead, what they're doing is they are smoothing the cuticle, making it more manageable. This is where you're going to get slip from a conditioner, or a moisturizer or a leave-in, things like that. And they also help to soften the hair as well. So hopefully that makes sense. That was totally a mouthful, but hopefully that makes sense. You are a genius. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Listen, I'm learning just like you guys. I'm a teacher, but I'm also a student. Okay. Okay. So that was scalp health, hair growth. Let's talk about hair growth really quick. Okay. Looking at my notes again. Number one, cause of hair growth. Lack of moisture. For obvious reasons, your hair is dry, your hair is going to break. In normal cases, not talking about hormonal things, health things. In normal cases, your hair is growing. It's growing. It's growing. Your scalp is operating as it should, but you're not seeing the length because your hair is dry. And as soon as it gets to a certain length, it breaks, So that's why moisturization is so important. That's why I'm a huge advocate of the PMP method: penetrate, moisturize, protect. Definitely check out that video if you have not done so already, because that is going to take your moisturization to the next level. Okay, that's number one of a lack of hair growth, lack of moisturization. Number two, scalp issues. So product buildup, hormonal issues, things like that can lead to scalp inflammation. It can lead to folliculitis. This is when the follicle becomes inflamed, and this can disrupt the hair growth cycle. So that is a thing, right? So what you want to do if you have that issue, if you have like product buildup, number one, you really need to be washing your hair. I know it sounds like but you really should be. And I say this because for such a long time, a lot of women were not washing their hair. They were co-washing their hair. And believe it or not, there's still a lot of women and men in the natural hair care community that just won't use a shampoo. They will just do co-washing and that's it. And then over time, they're having issues with hair growth and excessive shedding. And that's because your hair follicle is full of product. You know what I'm saying? So it's like inflamed, and now your hair growth cycle is jacked up and it's not working as it should. And now there's a lack of hair growth, So something like that is not moisture, it's more so up here. And then number three, stress and hormonal issues can cause a lack of hair growth. Let's talk about stress. There is such a thing called telogen effluvium. You can Google it. It's like EFF something. But telogen effluvium, that happens when you are super stressed. Things happen. Life happens. I mean, COVID, death in the family, relationship issues, job issues, all of that stuff builds up. What does that do to our hair and our body? It releases the stress hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is not our friend. We don't like cortisol, okay? It's not our friend. Now, what happens is with our scalp, it will immediately turn 70% of our hair into the resting phase, the shedding phase. I should say, really, the telogen phase, which is the shedding phase. So that's why people who are super stressed out, their hair starts falling out like crazy. And that's because their scalp is experiencing telogen effluvium, meaning it's like a shock to the system, and your hair is like, what the heck? And it starts to fall out. So that is a huge issue when it comes to like hair growth issues is collagen effluvium, which is brought on by stress. And then of course, hormonal. Ladies, as we get older, we mature, hormones be shifting and hormones play a huge role in our hair growth. So this is why I'm a huge fan of pumpkin seed oil, especially for women who are menopausal and even men who are getting up in age. Pumpkin seed oil is amazing because that oil, well, I should say this really, research has shown that pumpkin seed oil helps to reduce DHT within the body. And DHT is known for causing androgenic hormonal alopecia. So having like a little, I don't know, 3 or 4 ounce bottle, pumpkin seed oil, a few drops of peppermint, a few drops of rosemary, apply that on your scalp maybe 2 or 3 times a week. You should start seeing some results within 4 to 8 weeks. So that's my recommendation in regards to what's going on with hair growth, lack of moisture, scalp issues, or it can be stress/hormonal. Okay, let me get to these questions. And then I'm gonna do my last session, and then we're gonna go into this Q&A. You're taking ashwagandha for stress. Ashwagandha is amazing. I need to do a video on that, but it's amazing for the body, your endocrine system, your skin. It's amazing. Massage scalp regularly. I order pumpkin as soon as you said it. It's the truth. Great. I'm so glad you got it, Veronica. I'm so glad. Where'd you get yours from? I'm curious. And if you guys are looking for a good place to buy oils and like the hydrosol I was just talking about, Mountain Rose Herbs. It's awesome. They can be a little pricey, but the quality is superb. And they sell pumpkin seed oil. Thank you, Lily, for loving my channel. Camden Gray. Okay, Camden Gray is good too. They are good too. All right, guys. So let's go to the next part, which is really, really short. Styling straight hair. I got a question yesterday from a young lady, and she said, my hair is straight, and how do I moisturize my hair when it's straight? I just got it done. My hair is super straight, bone straight. How can I moisturize my hair? And I had to be honest with her because technically you can't, which I know sounds crazy, but when you think about moisture, it's water, right? And if you have a straight hairstyle and you decide to put water on your hair, what's going to happen? It's going to revert. The curls going to start coming back like, hey girl, how you, it's going to come back. So what do you do when you want to straighten your hair, but you low key can't put that cream based moisturizer or that spritz on your hair? What do? This is what you do. Before you get your hair done, right? 2 weeks before, within that 2-week span of time before you get your hair done, do some really intense deep conditioning treatment. You kind of have to build up that internal moisture capacity within your cuticle. So when you do get your hair done, straightened, your hair is kind of already internally moisturized. So even though you may go a week, maybe 2, without a legit moisturizer, your hair will still maintain itself without excessive breakage. Okay, so that's my advice for that. When your hair is straightened, you can definitely apply lightweight oils. Of course, you don't want to do anything super heavy because you want to maintain the hair. So jojoba, grapeseed, sweet almond oil, things like that. You can apply that to your hair when it's straight to keep it soft, give you some shine, manageability, all that good stuff. When your hair is straight though, with that time period, you don't want to go too long because once again, you still want to get to your scalp. You want to wash your hair, you want to moisturize your hair and all that good stuff. So keep that in mind, but that would be my recommendation. Within 2 weeks, before you get your hair done, do some really intense deep conditioning treatment to build up the moisture capacity within the cuticle. All right, y'all, that's my teaching. That's all I had. I hope that was helpful. If that was helpful, let me know. Drop like a 1 in the chat and let me know if this was helpful. Girl, stop. You the bomb. Love that idea. Thank you, Shan76. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are enjoying this. The reason why I don't have a traditional YouTube video like I normally do every Friday is because I was traveling this week. I went to New Jersey to visit my grandmother, and I got back on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, and I had no time to film a video, so that's why I'm here. But you guys are loving it, so it's always good. Yay. Thank you, Tia. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Sarah Smith, Michelle Keith. You have done excellent. Thank you, Sophia. I'm so happy you guys are enjoying this. Let's see, what time is it? It's 1:07. Okay, so I have a few more minutes. I do want to answer some questions. Put them in. And you didn't come visit me? Sharon, you didn't invite me. Give me the invite. Okay, let's see. I have a question. Uber Hot Natural says, please, can you differentiate between elasticity treatment and a balanced conditioner? That's interesting. Okay, so when I think about elasticity, I think about moisturization, because it's really moisturization within the cuticle that's going to either increase or improve the elasticity within the hair. And the whole point of a elasticity treatment is so your hair doesn't break off. It ensures that your hair does not become brittle to avoid breakage, right? Right. So whatever treatment you're referring to, if you want to drop the name, feel free. More than likely, it's designed to moisturize the hair in such a way that it increases the elasticity so that your hair does not break off, which is great because that means additional length retention. The balanced conditioner, to me, that sounds like something where you're getting a balance between moisture and protein. So the formula itself may have some moisturizing aspects to it, but there may be some restorative ingredients in there, maybe some hydrolyzed collagen, maybe some silk amino acids. It's kind of like giving you that balance. So that's what that sounds like to me. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that answers your question. Sharon says, your family don't need an invitation. Oh, thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. Okay, how do I clear up or stop ingrown hairs? That's a good question, and I need to do some more research on that. So, and if anyone has any advice on ingrown hairs, drop the comment below for self-love. But I've always thought that exfoliation is going to be the thing that helps to prevent or relieve ingrown hairs. So wherever the ingrown hair is at, I would just exfoliate that area a little bit more. There's exfoliator I use on my skin. I've been using it for like 3 years. My skincare regimen has not changed for good reason. It is by Freeman's charcoal scrub. It's like Freeman's charcoal scrub. It's a black scrub, sugar based, which is great because sugar based scrubs are more moisturizing than salt based scrubs. And especially with some ingrown hair, you want that moisturization, but you also want the exfoliation as well. So I would recommend that. And if you want to do like a little DIY, take that Freeman scrub, like the charcoal scrub that you can find at Ulta. I think Target has it. Amazon, of course, has it, but Ulta definitely has it. Sprinkle in about a teaspoon of turmeric powder. You guys say turmeric or turmeric? I say turmeric. Sprinkle a little bit of that into, a little bowl, the exfoliator, teaspoon of turmeric powder. Turmeric is amazing for the skin. Mix that up really, really well and put that wherever you have that ingrown hair. And I think you're going to see some really good results with that. So definitely try that out. Omel said this is very informative. Thank you so much. Shan76 says, thank you for advising not to apply conditioner to the scalp. It does wonders. And I'm telling all my friends about you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shan76. Yes, a conditioner does not belong on the scalp, y'all. It belongs on the hair. Shampoo is for the scalp. Conditioner is for the hair. And that can also lead to excessive product buildup too if you put conditioner on your scalp. Because conditioners, they have fatty alcohols. They have cationic surfactants. a bunch of other things that are really designed for the hair and not so much for the scalp. Okay. Let's see. Let me scroll down. I'm way up. I need to scroll down for y'all's questions. Can this be used on the scalp? I think you're referring to the charcoal turmeric scrub. It can be. I mean, because that product itself, like I said, is sugar based. It has charcoal in it. There's even glycerin in there. Turmeric, add that turmeric, you can totally use that on the scalp as well. So yes. Oh, someone said laser hair removal for ingrown hairs. Okay. Let's see. How to stop breakage at the roots? That's a good question. So the first thing I would ask you is, what's your styling like? Like, what are you doing on a daily basis? Are you doing any tight styles? Do you have braids in your hair really often? Any type of stress at the root, you're going to get breakage, So I would say limit that. I would also incorporate pre-pooing prior to shampooing your hair. Okay, side note, I did a pre-poo overnight with babasu oil. Oh my gosh. I might have to switch over from coconut to basu because it was like my hair was so soft and shiny and my curls were like, bring. I mean, it was amazing. Okay, so how did I get to that point? Okay, yes, back to this. Pre-pooing, right? For breakage at the root. Pre-pooing is gonna be great because it helps to reduce protein loss. Okay. So sometimes when our hair experiences excessive amount of moisture, that can weaken the bonds within the hair, which can then lead to weaker hair, which can then lead to breakage even at the root. So I would, look at your styling and then I would incorporate pre-pooing. And when you pre-poo your hair, you can put it like as close as possible to your scalp, but that should help with any breakage that you're experiencing. So yeah. And then maybe just do some TLC as well. So when you're moisturizing your hair, really kind of focus it on that area as well. And I think you're going to see some good results with that. Okay. Hello from France. Hello. Bonjour. Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? I studied Spanish in college, so I really know like two things in French. That's all I know. Bonjour, bonjour, comment allez-vous? Okay. What is your pre-poo routine? Right now it's about to be babasu. My pre-poo routine is about to be babasu oil overnight while I'm sleeping. Wake up the next morning, rinse that out, and proceed to shampooing my hair because that was a game changer for me. It's amazing. And babasu oil is very similar to coconut. When I say similar, meaning the fatty acid content. If you guys want to learn more about fatty acid content, definitely check out the Natural Hair Care Wisdom flashcards at curlychemistry.com. Let me type that down really quick. I'll just type in the website. curlychemistry.com. Okay, cool. You guys go there, go to shop, and you will see the Natural Hair Care Wisdom flashcards. I talk more about the fatty acid profiles. But babasu oil and coconut are very similar, meaning they have a high amount of lauric acid, which is a fatty acid that is really giving it that unique semi-solid texture. Like it's not an oil, but it's not a butter. It's like right in the middle. That's that lauric acid giving it that really cool texture. The only difference, of course, is the source, but I think babasu oil is super dope. What are your thoughts on oil rinses? I think oil rinsing is bomb because our hair is naturally lipophilic. Our hair is made up of oil. Our hair loves oil. It's amazing. Okay, which is reminding me that I need to make another video on the whole oils are not good for the hair topic. So let me write that down so I don't forget. But yeah, oil rinses are amazing. I recommend doing it after your conditioner. So after you shampoo your hair, after you rinse out your conditioner, do an oil rinse. Avocado, hemp, grapeseed, whatever your favorite carrier oil is. And what is that going to do? Once again, remember how I said the scalp receives the most amount of moisture on your wash day? Same thing with your hair, okay? Lock in all that moisture while you can. Now, once you do that, you have a choice. You can rinse that oil out or you can keep it in. You have a choice, okay? Some people don't want to have a film on the hair. If that's you, then I would say rinse it out. But me, I don't care because I'm like, if I have a film on my hair, that means easy slip, easy manageability, more moisture retention, you know? So I would say oil rinses are amazing. I would recommend trying it out your next wash day, see how your hair performs. After you get out the shower, then do your leave-in conditioner, and then style. And I actually did like a little weekly post on Instagram this morning talking about the steps. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Ooh, maybe not. Uh, maybe sort of kind of. I don't know. But Instagram at Charmin369, I have this post up talking about the weekly hair care steps. I know you probably can't say it, but that's okay. You get what I'm trying to say. So definitely check that out for a step-by-step on what I'm talking about. Can you use dry shampoo on silk pressed hair? You can. You can. Every dry shampoo performs differently. So I would say go with one that has good ratings, and then try it out and see how your hair responds. Okay, let's see. Hmm. I often encounter tangles at the root after wash day. What could be the course? I always detangle before washing. It could be your shampoo. It could be your shampoo because shampoos, depending on what shampoo you're using, it could have a little bit of harsh cleansing surfactants. And the more cleansing the surfactant, the more anionic negatively charges will be left on your hair. And the more negative charge is left on the hair will be a raised cuticle. You know, it kind of it slightly raises the cuticle. So when your hair kind of is next to each other, what are you going to get? Tangles and mats and things of that nature because it's raised. It's almost like it's catching on it on itself. So it could be your shampoo. Um, I don't know what shampoo you use, but a really nice moisturizing one I always recommend is the As I Am Long and Luxe Pomegranate shampoo. That one's really good. Carol's Daughter, Wash Day Delight. Miel Organics, she has a good shampoo line as well. Ethnic Gals, I talk about them a few times on my channel. They have an awesome shampoo, very moisturizing. It's going to cleanse your hair, but it's not going to leave like excessive negative charges on your hair that can lead to tangles. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna answer a few more questions. Let's say I'm gonna get off at 1:30, so we got like 10 more minutes. All right. Any recommendations for a very tender head? I would say be careful of the styles that you do because if your hair is tender, you don't want to do too much. You know, you don't want to add any excessive stress to it. So I would say be careful of your styles. Depending on your hair texture, I don't know if it's thin or thick. I would say, you know, be careful of the oils that you use. Make sure it's not too heavy because you don't want to weigh your hair down. But the biggest thing for a tender head, I would say, is really just love on your scalp, you know, because when you think about a tender head, it's really scalp focus, right? So focus on TLC, tender loving care on your scalp. Those aloe vera rinses I was talking about, scalp massages, not doing any stressful hairstyles, things like that. My hair is ash brown color, always looks dull. How best can I add shine? Where'd it go? I lost your question. Oh, there you go. How can I best add shine? Oil sheens don't seem to work for me. Oil sheen. When you say oil sheen, I'm thinking about that spray. Remember that old school spray, like in the pink bottle, oil sheen? Is that what you're talking about? Because I wouldn't recommend that. I mean, it's cool, but for what you want, no. Oil rinses. Go back to the oil rinses that I was just talking about. I think that'll help tremendously. And it could also be a lack of deep conditioning as well, because a lot of times the health of our hair can be seen external, like what's going on inside, we'll see that externally. So if your hair is like constantly dull looking, like the color is just off, it could be that you need some extra oomph, extra conditioning to your hair, you know? So I would say oil rinsing and increasing your deep conditioning. Okay, let me scroll down because questions are coming in fast. Uh, Can you please review row 619 for closing cuticles? I've heard of row. If that's the same thing I'm talking, I've used before, but there, back in the early natural hair care days, there was a product, and it's still out there, called row porosity control or something like that. If that's what I think you're talking about, yes, that works. That definitely works. They have surfactants in there that are known for closing the cuticle, but really it's a very acidic solution. So anything acidic is going to help to seal the cuticle and close the cuticle. So if that's what I think you're talking about, then yes, that is a really awesome product. I think you can find it at Sally's or even like your local beauty supply store. I have alopecia. Luli is like, listen, girl, you're gonna see my question today. She like copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. It's okay, I understand. I have alopecia and my hair comes and goes. What can I do? Please help me. Luli, please check out the video I did a few weeks ago on alopecia. It's so good. It's really in depth, and I think it's going to help you tremendously. Okay. So I would say definitely check that out. It can be a number of things. It can be stress, it can be hormonal, or it could be something a little bit more serious, which is when I do recommend, you guys go see either a dermatologist or a trichologist. So I think you should definitely check that video out. Okay. And one thing I will say, I don't really talk about this, but the Bible says that there is life and death in the tongue. The tongue is so powerful. And we have the ability to create what we want to see with our words. That's why we have to be very careful what we say. Very careful. And I always tell people, you will see what you say, right? Right. What does that mean? If you want to see growth, speak it. Speak life over your hair. Okay. And I think this might need to be a video. Seriously, because growing up, I'm gonna be honest, transparent moment here. Growing up, especially like in my elementary, middle school days, I thought my hair was bad. Bad hair, nappy, all that stuff. And sometimes I would say it out loud, but I would really be thinking it. And when I get frustrated with my hair, I would say it. And my hair was breaking, it was dry, it was short, it was because I wasn't feeding it life. I wasn't giving it life. And y'all know how I said I felt like God gave me revelation how our hair is like plants, it's like grass, it's like flowers. It is scientifically proven that if you talk nice to your plants, what do? They grow, they flourish, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a study, I don't know if it was a flower or what it was. I think it was a flower or a fruit, some type of living thing. You have section A here with this flower, and everyone's talking life and love into it. And it grew beautifully. I mean, it was so vibrant and just gorgeous. But then over here, people were saying, you're ugly, you're this, you ain't nothing, da, da, da. And that thing wilted. It just turned, it looked bad. It died. So there is power in what you say. Okay. That was my sermon. Okay. I hope that was helpful. But I still that to say, speak life over your hair, speak life over your scalp. I get doctors and everything, and they say what they say, but even down to your health, speak life, speak what you want to see over your business, speak what you want to see over your marriage, your relationship, your children, your home, your work, whatever that consumes, not consume, but whatever surrounds you in your world, speak life over those things. Okay. Okay. Back to these questions. I got 5 minutes left. Let's see. Okay. Can you? Oh wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Can you talk? Wait, where'd it go? Okay. Can you talk about / maybe do a video on hard water and how it affects our scalp hair? Yeah, I totally can. Hard water has a ton of like minerals and metals that can affect our hair, our scalp, which can also lead to that dullness and that dryness too. Now you can use a chelating shampoo. A chelating shampoo is a shampoo that is formulated to remove minerals and metals from the hair. So you can definitely incorporate a chelating shampoo. You can also incorporate a shower filter, which would probably be the best thing to do. Have a really high quality shower filter. It may be an investment, but in my opinion, I think it's worth it. So that's my thoughts on that. Mm, 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 mm. Uh, how do you keep low porosity 4C hair moisturized? Midweek. My hair feels very dry midweek after wash day. I love that question, Jasmine. You have to figure out your moisture cycle. Everyone has a moisture cycle. What does that mean? That means there is a time where your hair is moisturized and that moisture begins to deplete. For me, it's 2 days. I have a moisture cycle of 2 days. I can put my moisturizer on, let's say today, Friday, but by Sunday, my hair is dry and I have to replenish. I have to put that moisture back in. So I would say start monitoring, and this is for everyone, start monitoring where your hair begins to get dry after you put your moisturizer on. For some people, it may be one day. For some people, it may be 5 days. You know what I'm saying? So I would say look at your moisture cycle because you may need to start incorporating more moisture throughout the week, and that is completely okay. Your sealant plays a role. What oil are you using? What hair grease are you using? Like all of that plays a role in locking in that moisture as well. So hopefully that helps. Okay, I need to scroll down because I'm like up. Is it okay to use coconut milk? I'm laughing at myself because, yeah. Is it okay to use coconut milk on your scalp? So the fact that it's coconut milk is going to be moisturizing for the scalp, but my concern, like I said earlier with the coconut vinegar question, is if there's any lauric acid in there, because lauric acid tends to be comedogenic. It can clog the pores of the scalp. So I would recommend coconut milk for the hair instead of the scalp. Hopefully that helps. All right, what time is it? All right, 1:28. I got a few more minutes. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. Rice water before or after washing? That's a good question. I would say that it depends. I would recommend after washing because your hair is cleansed and that is like the best time to get those treatments in, like rice water, the hydrosols, things like that on fresh, clean hair. There are some women who use rice water as a moisturizing treatment. Of course, be mindful of that because, rice water does have a bit of protein, not a lot, but a bit. And for those who are protein sensitive, it may not be a good idea you know? So I would say try it out and see what happens, but I recommend afterwards. Oh, okay, EL. She's like, copy and paste, copy and paste. You won't see my question today. Okay, can you use grease like Blue Magic right after shampooing and conditioning / deep conditioning without using a leave-in? You can because it will lock in that moisture. However, some people prefer using grease on like dry hair versus like wet hair because hair grease is great, but because it's so thick, it may not be as smooth on the cuticle when the cuticle is super wet like that. So I would say play it by ear, but long story short, you can because it still is a form of an oil. It's just thicker. Cassandra says, please save this. I have to watch later. Yes, I'm definitely going to save this live for sure. Is washing hair once monthly enough? That's a great question. It really depends on your scalp. It depends on your hair. I can't go. I can't wash my hair once a month because I'm gonna have product build up. My scalp's gonna get really dry and flaky. Like I have to wash my hair at least if not once a week, definitely once every 2 weeks. So I wouldn't recommend it, but everyone's hair and scalp is different. So I would recommend at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. Okay. I'm gonna try to get in two more questions and then we're gonna call it a day. Thanks for your wisdom. May God continue to shine his face upon you abundantly in Jesus' name. Thank you so much, Loretta. I received that. Thank you. Okay. I see thinner strands on my hair I see thinner strands on my hair on my hands. Okay. When I moisturize my cornrows, I'm worried about that. What would you advise I do to deal with that? Thinner strands of your hair on your hands when you moisturize your cornrows. So my question would be, are they long strands or are they little baby strands? Because it could be just shedded hair, which is normal, you know? Anytime we touch our hair, we're low key, getting rid of the shedded hair that our follicle just released. So it makes sense that when we do with our hair, we're going to get some, like if I start doing this, you're gonna, I can put some hair because it's shedding. Our hair is, at least I want to say 10 or 15% always in a shedding phase. So it's bound to happen. If you're getting small pieces of hair, like little, then it's breakage. So I would say, you may want to increase your deep conditioning or incorporate more protein treatments. I recommend protein at least once a month, mainly because our hair is made up of protein. Our hair is protein, and you have to give your hair what it is. You have to restore that back in there. So I would say try those two things, and I think you're going to see some results with that. Okay, last question. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think I have my last question from Latoya. Hey, girl. Okay, what would be the best protective style for someone like me with low porosity, low density hair, braids, and kinky twists break off my crown to an inch or two? Okay, so two things. Number one, who's doing it, right? Every stylist do hair differently. So it could be the stylist, it could be how they're doing it. If you are going to multiple stylists and you're seeing the same thing, then it could be like, okay, stay away from that style, right? Right. It could be the size. I don't recommend skinny braids. I don't recommend those things because they have so much tension on the scalp, which can then lead to breakage on our scalp and our hair. So you may want to increase the size of your braids and your kinky twists, right? Right. Um, there's always buns. There is always what's that thing I have upstairs? It's not a half wig. It's I gotta find out the name, but it's like a wig that it might be a half wig, but it's not a half wig because your hair isn't out and it's not a lace either. I gotta figure out what it is. I'm gonna do a video just for you. Protective styles. You said you had low density, low porosity hair. Okay. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back with it. I'm gonna come back with a video focused on protective styles because we're going into the summertime and a lot of us will be doing protective styles. I'm about to install some passion twists probably within the next 2 weeks. So it'll be on time. So I'm gonna do that for you. Okay, sis? Okay. All right, guys. Maybe it is a head. Yes, it's a headband wig. Y'all be knowing. Yes, thank you, sis. All y'all. Thank you. Pamela, y'all got it. Lively Stone, D. Floyd, thank you. It's a headband wig. That is good. And what you can do to protect your edges at night, because obviously you're going to take it off at night. Just moisturize your scalp. You can use the rosemary hydrosol. I promise y'all, this is not a sponsored video. Okay, this is not sponsored. I'm just talking about this because I just got it, and I really, really like this stuff because it's like rosemary, and it's going to help with stimulating of the scalp and moisturization. So you can do this at night. A little bit of jojoba oil, just to kind of protect your edges if you decide to go the headband wig routes. Okay. All right, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this live. You are so welcome. I'm going to save this live. Thank you to everyone here. If you guys can like this live, if you guys haven't liked it already, please hit the like button. I appreciate this and you guys being here. As you guys like this video, YouTube sends it out to more people because I'm trying to help our community, y'all, and get us together when it comes to our hair and our scalp. Okay. You are so welcome. It's okay, Betty. It's okay. I'm saving the live. You can, watch the replay. So you guys are so welcome. Thank you guys so much. Really quick, once again, check out the Natural Hair Care Wisdom flashcards if you have not done so already to learn more about ingredients in your hair from a cosmetic chemist perspective. Check out the Curly Girls Guide to Hair Care Ingredients. All of this can be found on my website. I will put it below. curlychemistry.com. Yep, you can find that there. If you know someone who wants to start a hair care line, they can work with me one-on-one. And you can also check out curlychemistry.com for more information as well. All right, guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your presence. I'm so glad you guys are seeing results and solutions with this content. I don't take you guys for granted. I love you guys so, so much. And have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. And just speak life. Speak life over what you want to see, your hair, your body, your life in general. All right. I'm going to say this live. I love you guys. And you guys again for liking me. Can we get to 200 likes really quick before we go? We're at 191. Can we get to 200? We're at 194. Can we get to 200? Can we get to 195? Can we get to 200? All right, we there. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend, okay? Bye.